Hi, I'm Brent Conrad, and welcome to the 7th tape in our series on producing and marketing videos. There's many ways to make money in video, but one of the most lucrative ventures that we've ever gotten into has been selling videos through mail order. The whole process is so much different than producing industrials, weddings, or depositions. Those jobs usually pay off instantly with a nice lump sum of money. You do the job, you get paid, period. But with videos for sale, it's more like an investment in the future, and the payoff doesn't begin until sometimes a few months down the road. But when it does, it just keeps coming in month after month after month. The other thing that's different about producing videos for sale to niche markets is that you don't need a lot of expensive equipment. In this market, people are looking for solid, usable information. For example, a fellow named Tom Ivers is making a fortune in this business by producing and selling over 28 separate videos on equine sports medicine, that is, everything to do with horse racing. He's been shooting everything on high 8, dubbing to VHS, editing in VHS, then distributing in VHS. So you can imagine, 4 generations down, editing on VHS, they're probably not the best looking tapes as far as technical quality. But people are very pleased with the product he is giving them because that product is good, solid, usable information that they can't get anywhere else. He has very few returns and is now making between $8,000 and $20,000 per month on this series of videotapes. So the key to success in producing and marketing tapes is not in the equipment that you have, rather it's in the topic, the quality of information that you provide, and in the methods you use to promote your video. The niche areas are the ones to go after. If you or someone you know has specialized knowledge in a given area, that's just what you need. We video people have just about saturated the market with how-to tapes on video production because that's what we know about. But there's a huge body of knowledge on specialized subjects just waiting to be put on video. One man has based his entire business on producing tapes about gemstone polishing. He makes about $72,000 per year producing these tapes, and he just keeps on producing more and more videos about gemstone polishing. No doubt if he had chosen a topic like aerobics or fishing instead of gemstone polishing, he'd probably be out of business by now. The major studios have those areas already wrapped up, but where you and I can accelerate is in those niche areas, those areas of specialized knowledge that are yet untapped. To be sure that you have a topic that will sell, you should first test market it a little bit. Just drop a small classified ad into a publication targeting your intended audience and wait to see what kind of response you get. If you do get a decent response, then go ahead and produce the tape. You have 30 days in which to fill the order. If you don't get many orders in, just refund the money within 30 days and move on to another topic. Let's say you have an interest in doing a topic that you have some knowledge about, but you need some experts in the field to back you up. And let's say you don't want to have to pay someone to give you this knowledge. Well, one way that you can easily overcome this problem is to attend a gathering where a lot of these knowledgeable people are. It could be a convention or some type of a show. To demonstrate to you how easy this can be, I want to share with you the methods we use to produce our latest video for sale. Now, I know this isn't a real niche area, but we began noticing how many people would comment about our cat, saying they had cats too and how much they enjoyed them. So we set out to do a series of cat tapes. One of the tapes was on short-haired cats, one was on long-haired, and another on the cat show and what you'd expect to get into in showing cats. So attending a cat show became the first priority for us because we could find a knowledgeable person on every breed. All we had to do was interview breeders along the way. You might ask, why were they willing to go along with all this? Well, let's face it, most people love talking about their favorite hobby. And in this case, they talked like these cats were their own kids. Keep in mind now as you watch these examples that this can apply to any type of large gathering. For example, car shows. Each category of cars, whether it's Camaros, Corvettes, Porsches, Saab, they all have their own car club gatherings, and if you're at all interested in cars, this is an ideal place to go and produce a video geared right towards these enthusiasts. You can then market the tapes right in the newsletters that serve these audiences. Another show you could look at going to, craft shows. Crafts are really big now. All types of crafts are big money makers for people. A lot of people want to know how to create crafts to make money, and you could produce a tape on that. Keep in mind as we take a look at the examples of production techniques used at this cat show that these same techniques can be used in almost any situation like this. Later in the video we'll be running a complete list of possible topics for you to produce videos on. As we pick things up here at the cat show, one of the priorities we had was to get an interview with a judge to tell just how he judges cat shows so that people could understand more what goes into preparing for these shows and also how they could make their cat a winner here. An interview with an expert always gives you extra credibility and gives you that inside track of knowledge needed to help provide that information that's valuable to the audience you're trying to reach. In this case, we interviewed the judge first, and then we actually shot him in action judging the cats. We then combined this footage together, and we'll show you some examples of that right now.
When you're judging a particular class of cats, what are you looking for?
Well, depending on the breed. Each breed has a written standard, and it's how the cat or the kitten matches its standard. And it's just how it measures up. It's unlike the dogs. They don't have to move, or it's purely physical.
And when you hold them up, are you looking for?
I'm looking for proportion in body to leg length, or length of tail. When I'm holding them up, I might be getting them to be in an alert position so their ears are in the right position, or where they fall naturally on the head. All sorts of things.
Temperament, do you look for behavior or?
Behavior, as long as they're not recalcitrant or nasty and they don't try to bite. If they bite or recalcitrant, they're disqualified.
Oh, you disqualify them
right.
From any further shows or just from this ring?
From this ring.
This ring.
Yes. And the other rings are notified of the cat or kitten that bit or was recalcitrant in that one ring.
Household pets represent a sizable entry at most cat shows. In the Cat Fanciers Association, household pets competing for championship status are called premiers. They must be altered to be shown in the CFA. They also must be registered with the Cat Federation in which they are to be shown. This is as easy as filling out a form and sending it to the appropriate federation, along with the required fee and a copy of the neutering certificate if required by that federation. The main thing to shoot for on location is lots of detail shots to use as cover footage for the narrative sections. When shooting interviews, start with a wide shot to show the person who is talking. It helps to have an assistant do the interviewing. In this case, my wife asked the questions and I did the shooting. We used 2 wireless lavalier microphones to do the interviews with. You should get your interviewee to sign a release before shooting the interview. We also went to the homes of several breeders and shot lots of footage while the experts talked. Roseanne Conrad joins Linda and John Barkley of Lynn's Cats Cattery as they enthusiastically discuss this lovely breed.
Tell us a little bit about this breed. It's called the
American Shorthairs.
Shorthair.
They're often confused with domestic Shorthairs, which they're not. They are purebred cats, and there are many differences between domestic Shorthairs and American Shorthairs. They have a certain standard, just like a Persian or anything else. They have a certain head type, a certain pattern. On an American Shorthair, they have to have certain things. They have to have spine lines, which are, get over here, these are the spine lines. They have to have what's called a butterfly across their shoulders. This is the butterfly. Rings in their tail, rings on their arms and their legs, and they have to have belly buttons. If you'll stand up, they have to have buttons on their belly. They're called vest buttons. Oh. And they have to have the M on their forehead, and their pattern is supposed to be fairly symmetrical on both sides.
After gathering your interviews and location footage, you may want to do some research at the library. It can really come in handy when writing the introduction and the bridging segments for your video. Here's how we opened our video on short-haired cats. Cats are intriguing animals. Proof of their beginnings date back almost 12 million years, long before the dog, horse, and even man. The oldest known evidence of the domestic cat was found in a 4,500-year-old Egyptian tomb. The ancient Egyptians regarded the cat as their most sacred animal. Calling them Mao because of their meow, the pharaohs often depicted their gods and goddesses as cats. Whoever killed a cat, whether intentionally or by accident, faced possible death. The Egyptians would conduct sacred burial ceremonies for their cats upon their passing. They were embalmed and entombed, and the owners would grieve as though a family member had died. Some of them were buried with embalmed mice so that they might be successful in the hunt as they pass into the next life. Through the years, cats have not lost their appeal to humans. Cats are portrayed in children's cartoons and books, are used extensively in advertising campaigns, and at 63 million in number, are the #1 pet in the United States today. There are approximately 50 different domestic breeds of cats known throughout the world. Not all are common in the United States, and many are not recognized as breeds by some of the cat federations. Many breeds are as old as the countries from which they descend, while others are man-made breeds. An example of an ancient breed lies in the Abyssinian. The mummified remains of some ancient Egyptian cats were compared with living cats in Ethiopia, formerly Abyssinia. They matched almost perfectly. While the Abyssinian can be traced back thousands of years, an example of a modern man-made breed can be found in the very unusual yet appealing Cornish Rex. This breed dates back to only... As you can see, having some background information is helpful in doing the introduction to your video. I'd like to show you the basic setup that we use on location for shooting situations like the cat show. We have the Panasonic AG450 Super VHS camcorder. Nothing special there, a medium-priced camcorder that's probably the single most popular unit in use today in the low-end industrial, high-end wedding market. We have a Bogan 3140 tripod, 10 amp hours worth of lead-acid battery power to power my Lowell Pro Light, which we use a swing-in filter on so that we can cut down on the power of the light whenever we're in close on certain situations. Swing-in barn doors, again, so we can control that light a little better. And for audio, we're using 2 wireless mics. In this case, we had one wireless on my wife who was doing the interviews and the other wireless on the interviewee. And for audio mixing on location, we have a unique little device called the cam mixer. We run our wirelesses in through this, and we're able to mix right on location there, dialing in the sound just the way we want it. You can even add a third source if it is a line input. If you want to use 3 wireless mics, you can use the headphone output to go into the third input of the cam mixer. Otherwise, you're using standard mic outputs from your hopefully high band wireless microphones like an 8151, Samson MR1, or Asden WMS Pro. And it's a good idea to have a color monitor along so that you can check your white balance and general picture quality output. Remember, we're not out there to produce Hollywood caliber productions. We're out there to provide good solid information. So don't be discouraged if you don't have top of the line equipment. Certainly a lot of folks have better equipment than this out there, using 3-chip camcorders and full-size record decks and so forth. But I think we can really make an impact in this market using everyday video production equipment that most of us have used for shooting weddings all along. Just a side note on this little cam mixer that I showed you a while ago, I just cracked mine open, and I think it was because I had too much weight on it. Asking it to support a Pro light from Lowell is a little bit too much. So if you're going to use a heavy on-camera light, don't use the accessory shoe on top of this. Mount this with Velcro on the side of the camera and go with your camera light right off your accessory shoe on the camera. Next, I'd like to show you our setup for shooting the on-camera in-studio segments for our instructional videotapes. I'm pretty much a one-man operation here in doing this, so I need to have everything right at my fingertips. I have the remote control unit right here that operates my master record VCR. That enables me to record a segment, stop, and rewind and play it back and make sure everything went okay. I have a monitor which allows me to monitor that tape playback as well as my live camera so that I can do my framing and position that properly from the front of the camera. This serves as our teleprompter system. We merely take our handwritten script and tape it right to the lens, and whenever we stop between segments, it gives us a chance to do two things. One, we can change the fold on the script so that we can get the next paragraph up closer to the lens so that we're able to maintain eye contact with the lens and with the audience that way. Also, it gives us a chance to change focal length on the camera. We can widen it out for a bigger picture so that we don't have a jump cut when cutting in from a closer picture. Sometimes it's helpful to use a wide angle lens. That enables us to get that wider shot without having to move the camera back so far that I'm unable to read the script. So I want to show you what that looks like with the lens on and off. If there's any drawback to using a wide angle lens, it's that things get slightly distorted around the edge of the picture. You'll notice if I put my hand out, it becomes distorted and looks out of proportion, but it works well for the most part. Now I want to take it off and show you the difference. When we take the lens off, we get immediately a different focal length. Now here's where it comes in handy to have a gas-operated chair where you can bring yourself down to the proper level without having to move the tripod. So that makes that process a little bit easier for reframing your shot, keeping those eyes in the imaginary 1/3 top line of the screen. Right now I want to show you an inexpensive way you can get into multiple tape dubbing, because before too long, even with a few tapes on the market, you're going to be needing to dub maybe 50 or more tapes per week. So it helps if you have a multi-dubbing system. And the most inexpensive way I know of getting into this will be using Panasonic AG1260s. The series has now evolved up from 1240s and 1250s to the 1260, and I feel it's a good all-around machine for dubbing because it is in the Pro line of the Panasonic line. Very sturdily built, four-head machine, moderately priced, usually about $275 mail order. We have ganged 8 of them together here. We've got 3, 3, and 2 up here. I just want to explain to you the hookup that we have and the reasons for that. We have all the machines connected together by means of one remote control unit, and this allows us to address every machine with just the push of one button. So as you can see, it really simplifies the process, and when you're done recording, you just hit one button and your tapes all come out and you're ready to go. So any way that we can simplify and streamline this dubbing process, the better off we're going to be down the road. Up here we have a system of selector buttons here. These units are available from Radio Shack, and what they do is they route the RF output from the VCRs to a video monitor so that you can check each and every VCR to make sure that the playback is there after a recording session, to make sure you have good video and sound on every tape that you're going to ship out. And the way this is accomplished is we have an AB box up here which allows us to address either our top box, which is a Radio Shack unit, or the bottom box, which is a DLS. They both perform the same function. Through the A unit, I'm able to check right down through the line machines 1, 2, 3, and 4.
By writing to the Federation.
By watching my monitor here, I just punch right down through the line and I can verify that each tape does indeed have a signal recorded on it and that the sound is there on each tape. Then we switch to box B, which is down here. Again, we're able to flip right down through the line, 2, 3, and 4, and know that we have a good signal on every tape. I do want to note here that I am distributing the video signal with 2 process amplifiers, each capable of splitting the signal into 4 separate equal parts. This way we don't lose quality whenever distributing that video signal to all 8 machines. Before the distribution amplifier is a time-based corrector, which takes the video output from the playback machine and splits it into 2 equal signals to feed the process amplifiers. Time-based correction is not absolutely necessary, but helps to make a more stable and clear picture for your distribution copy. The video selector box uses the RF or antenna cables coming from the VCRs to switch between. This way, the video and audio signals are carried on one wire, lessening cable routing problems, and also makes for a more inexpensive system to monitor your output. Each selector box can handle up to 5 VCRs. The AB switch on top expands our selection between a possible 10 VCRs by switching between the two boxes. These monitor switcher boxes can be bought at Radio Shack for about $40 each, the AB switch about $5. These process amplifiers are only one possible solution to your distribution amplifier needs. Here's a unit that has 10 outputs for both audio and video. It's available from a company called MarkerTech. It's a more professional model with BNC connectors. It has internal audio gain adjustment and switchable equalization to compensate for video cable losses. There's the toll-free number where you can call for more information. The listed price here is $589. Here's a couple of units that you can pick up for less money than that. This unit has 10 outputs, video and audio, for $459. And here's one that has 5 outputs for $259. If you call, you may find that these prices will come down even lower. And by the way, we do copy directly from our master tape. This is the second generation tape that we edited to make our original production. So we put that in our playback VCR. We record right off of that, and what we send out to our customers is third generation, or right off the edited master. We also have some signal processing for the audio side of things. You may notice that when you dub to a machine, the audio doesn't always come up to the proper level. An equalizer like this helps you to boost the overall level of the signal, as well as accentuating some of those middle frequencies that give you extra clarity on your final video dub. I want to talk about the tapes we use for dubbing. We do buy our tapes in bulk from a company called AVI in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and we buy them like 80 and 100 at a time. This is a way you've got to go to get good tape prices these days. I'm going to list for you a little later on the screen the names and numbers of a couple of places I feel are the best in quality and price. VU Videos out of Denver, Colorado is another excellent place to buy from. But the point is, you've got to start buying in bulk to get that price down there. Usually a 45-minute tape can be had for about $1.50. That's not junk tape either. That's high-grade tape like Maxell Gold with anti-static shells. Also, when it comes to packaging the tapes, we feel that the library cases provide the best value. Usually you can get these for about 50 cents. Provides a nice way for you to have an insert sleeve. You can print up and copy off your sleeves, insert those right in there. By the way, we recommend using Maxell certified professional tape. In Super VHS, it comes in at 126-minute length. The reason they do that is they guarantee only the middle 120 minutes to be free of dropout. The first 3 minutes and the last 3 are likely to have some dropout, but in between, it's guaranteed. As far as a basic startup package of equipment, I know a fellow who creates some really decent looking videos on exotic animals. He shoots with a Canon A1 High 8, edits directly from High 8 to Super VHS using a Panasonic AG1960 recorder, mixes video with character generation on the Panasonic AVE5. He stays in YC the whole way, has a Future Video EC1000 edit controller to tie it all together. Now the whole works can be had for right around $5,000. So when it comes to a premium startup package at low cost, that one will do it for you. The heart of our system is a JVC Super VHS industrial editing system, and we have the toaster from New Tech to do our titling with, which comes in handy also for doing transitions. But keep in mind, all of the fancy digital transitions in the world are not going to sell videotapes for you. An industrial level editing system is nice because of the close tolerances needed for editing speech. But keep in mind, very successful videotapes have been produced using just a camcorder and a simple VCR to record over to. By the way, the background that we're using in the studio is called muslin. It's available for under $200 by calling 1-800-422-SET1. The poles to hold it up with are available through Calumet Photography. That's 1-800-CALUMET, Calumet. You can also purchase background paper from Calumet. It runs about $40 per roll, but wears out very quickly, whereas the muslin will last you a long time. Now let's take a look at the actual marketing of our videos for sale. The best advertising that we've been able to find has been in magazines and newsletter that serve the target group that you're trying to reach. Direct mail has been less successful for us. We feel that the time spent on putting an ad in a magazine is far less than getting together a big mailing to send out. We have used 1/3 page ads in some larger publications like Videomaker. A 1/3 page ad like this will run about $800 in this if you're figuring 15% off for doing your own setup of the actual advertisement. That is camera-ready artwork, so that the publisher doesn't have to do any work in printing or laying out your piece. So there is that 15% discount that's available there. Also, some magazines will offer an additional discount for mail order enterprises. So you'll want to be sure to mention those things if you're able to do your own layout, that you get the agency discount, it's called, and also your mail order discount. There are also nice breaks if you want to advertise for, let's say, 3 months at a time or 6 months or a whole year. The price does come down with frequency. Publications like newsletters that serve target groups are also another great way to advertise. In most cases, it's a lot less expensive, and you're still reaching substantial numbers of people with those newsletter publications. Oftentimes, they're more directly focused to a market also. A good way to find out about the different publications available out there is to go to your local library and ask the reference librarian to get you the book that lists all of the periodicals and newsletters published in the country. It'll be a book about this thick, and it will list the topics that they cover, the circulation numbers, the price for advertising in these periodicals, and also the phone numbers and addresses of the publishers. So you should be able to find out for your topic exactly what publication targets them and what newsletters are available just by going to your local library. When it comes to pricing your videotapes, you have to take a look at the total potential market that's out there. We found that the $29.95 price point works very well. That way it's not too expensive for people, but then we're not marketing it so low that people think that it's not worth it. If we come in at $19.95, people may think it's more of a throwaway type of a video, and they may be reluctant to invest. On the other end of the scale, I know of a man who was one of the leading experts in the field of hydraulics. He knew that he had a limited marketplace out there in which to work with. Only a few companies could really benefit from the knowledge that he had. Therefore, he priced his videotapes at $5,000 apiece, and he sold a few of them too. But you see the point. If he had priced them at $29.95, he quickly would have saturated his potential market and essentially come out with very little for his efforts. So I think the lesson to be learned from this is, don't underprice yourself if you have a very specialized area of knowledge that is very hard to get. It's important that when the time comes for you to start taking orders, that you're set up to receive Visa and MasterCard. Most orders that come in are on credit and over the phone. One of the electronic phone patch types of the MasterCard Visa order takers are very nice to have because it gives you immediate confirmation of the charge. It tells you if the card is good, if there's enough in the account to cover the cost, and it really minimizes problems down the road for you in taking credit cards. It's also a good idea to get a phone number whenever you take the order. In case the card doesn't go through, you can always call back and find if the customer would like to choose an alternate method of payment. Whenever we go away from the business for a few days, we leave a message on the answering machine that asks the caller to leave his order, his name, address, phone number, and card number so that we can get their order back as soon as we return. And you would be surprised how many people leave a message with all this information. And oftentimes they'll just call back later with the order. Your local bank should be able to set you up with Visa MasterCard. The way ours works is that at the end of the day, we initiate what's called a settlement on the keypad. The day's receipts are automatically totaled and deposited right into our bank account. Of course, by that time, the tape is already in the mail. We like shipping first-class mail. It's guaranteed to get there anywhere in the country within 3 days or less. One tape with plastic library case can be shipped for $2.90. 2 to 4 tapes can be shipped for $4.10. UPS is a little cheaper for ground service, but can take up to 6 working days to go coast to coast. And they don't travel on Saturdays. I can tell you that everyone wants to get their tapes as soon as possible. The quicker you get it to them, the happier that they are. We've considered having others fill our orders for us. There are many answering services that have 800 numbers that can take an order and pass it along to you for processing and shipping. In fact, you can choose every level of service, including Visa and MasterCard order taking, and there are even some duplication houses that make the dubs for you, put the labels on, ship them out, and do everything from start to finish. But keep in mind, every step of the process you farm out means less profit for yourself and less control of the process. The future of the special interest market looks very promising. With about 70% of the homes in the country having VCRs, the market is huge and untapped. If you really want to make big money in video production, my advice to you is to produce videos for sale for the home market and keep on producing them. Before long, your time and money invested will be leveraged so much that your income will start growing exponentially. This is Brent Conrad thanking you for joining me, and good luck to you in producing and marketing videos.